Should the government restrict freedom of speech? What does free speech means to society? I would say that we do not have any direct definition. However, for me, it means having the right to express our opinion or share your ideas without hurting anybody. And we can go as far as saying creating ideas where we can share with one another. This is a topic our ancestors have been fighting for many, many years. We have Frederick Douglass, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and so many great influencers. Free speech is what keeps us grounded and alive, and those activists fought for their life to make America a better place. Imagine if we had no say so on what we can or cannot do, and the government had to tell you the right and left move that you have to make. And the government is perhaps making all of the decisions to the point every topics or issues are viewed in one aspect. A life like that would give you no purpose to strive or become a better person. As most of us are aware of the First Amendment, and freedom of speech is actually protected by it. It set the foundation of democracy, which allows us to make a difference by voting, which is a fundamental right. And I believe everyone should have the right to express themselves freely. We live in a society whatever we can say or become can become a burden later on in our lives. Generally, a person cannot be held reliable, either criminal, if they say something out of based of opinions freely in the public, and as a research by Legal Information Institute claims. Freedom of speech has been a great debate in the lives of every human being in this planet, especially for African Americans. We have been through hoops and we have to jump through everything because of freedom we have nowadays. And as we all know, slavery has been alive for many, many years. Many African American has been transported by force overseas and was being framed by migrations. Slave trade carried people of color to America, which the government didn't let them have a say so. And for centuries, they have been humiliated, murdered, and being treated worse than animals because of the lack of freedom of speech. I can safely say on the behalf of African American that it has been a long ride, and the ride is still going. Freedom of speech was never a right for us, and we're just now starting to make our voice be heard. And agreeing to restrict our freedom of speech is definitely not an option. According to Jean Paul Marcosi, freedom of expression protections are positively related to increased economical growth because the population is giving their ideas. Also, the government can see what is not going so great in society, so they can adjust to it. The public interest can create an important platform for public reflections and debates. Restricting freedom of speech would take away fresh ideas and perspectives from society. The government also knows that society's opinion matter, and without them, the government wouldn't be able to work. One of the great influencers and activists would be Harriet Tubman, born into slavery, and it became her dedication to deliver her people from slavery. Her well-known achievement was the Underground Railroad, which was located in Pennsylvania. Over the years, she saves over 70 slaves and helped about 50 to 60 slaves to escape Canada. Furthermore, the great Martin Luther King, also an activist who played a key role for mostly African American civil rights, well known for his speech, "I have a dream." And one of the famous quote was, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last." Last but not least, we have Rosa Parks. Also a strong woman activist, stood for what she believed in and acted on what without any fear. Well known for her role in the Montgomery bus boycott, America has called her the First Lady of Civil Rights. What is your role when it comes to freedom? Do you settle to what society say you should do, or do you make your own history? Everybody's voice should be heard loud and clear. My ancestors and your ancestors started this fight about freedom of speech and human rights way before our time. We need our voice to be heard 24/7, because without our voice, society wouldn't be to function right, and people wouldn't know what to do in this world. We live in a world that is so crazy that if a certain person don't know how to act, they wouldn't take you right. And freedom is actually everybody's right. Nobody likes to be in a cage all the time, being told what to do. Nobody want a dictator like Hitler. I am pretty sure. And as an African American and Haitian, I know that my rights differ from a Caucasian person. And we also have to be heard loud and clear what we want in this society. And it's up for the young adults that are coming right now. We have our rights, and we know from right and wrong that society can become a better place, and we need equality for all people, all races, and gender. As I was saying, equality is a big part as in freedom of speech. Freedom of speech, it doesn't matter if you are female, you can be paid also the same way as a man. Because I know in some places men get paid more than a woman, and that's not freedom, and that's not our human rights. Equality, fraternity, that's what everybody in America should look forward to. We have nowadays black male cannot walk in the street without having the fear that they're gonna get attacked by a Caucasian individual. And our ancestors did not did all that fight for no reason. So as a conclusion, all I need to say is we need to know our rights and what our beliefs are, due to the fact that we have to continue this fight our ancestors and activists started years ago. The job isn't done, and we have to continue to fight and fight until our voice are being heard. Thank you.